for people in our audience, what are the impact of these new machine learning processes, like in concrete terms? How can it impact them, like on a daily basis? Like, do we start seeing more and more how it impacts us, or what's to expect of how machine learning is going to transform our either day-to-day life or things we interact with pretty frequently?
I think we're already seeing some impact in the sense that this, like machine learning methods, allow us to gain substantial efficiency in many areas. So let's say you want to subscribe to an insurance policy, like 100 years, well, maybe not 100, but let's say 50 years ago, you would need to ask each different company for a quote, and in each company you would have a like human employee that goes through, okay, all your characteristics and provides you based on this, here should be the quote, etc. So it's substantial efforts, takes a lot of time, and like all these people, they need to be paid, so additional costs. So by streamlining this process and having a machine propose a quote, you can get information much quicker at less costs, and having less costs like allows you to be more competitive and reduce your premium in some sense. So this is from an insurance perspective, but there are many activities. Let's say when you go to the ATM, the cash deposit, and you give your $5, like if you need like a person to check every single one of your bills, then it takes a lot of time, versus when you just have a digit recognition machine, it saves a lot of time. And we're seeing like, or for example, ChatGPT, when you want to do a literature review or to like gather information about a topic, nowadays it becomes like much more simple to get access to high quality information, because these new tools that have emerged, they allow you to gain a lot of efficiency. They're much faster, and they allow you to save a lot of time. So I think we're already seeing the impact of machine learning and many aspects of our life.
I think also I hear a lot about medical field. And so I heard like from some people who do research in medical fields, like the power of the machine to analyze data can actually help us. Like maybe there's some tiny things here and there that doctor misses, like here and there, but actually the machine can take all this information and says, well, the little thing that everybody ignores is actually very relevant for one specific disease, for example. So they say it could help even diagnose the disease and be more in a proactive kind of medical approach also to disease. Is that kind of thing that people might see in the near future?
Well, yeah, I think it's even in the present, not even in the near future. So the idea is, if you're a doctor, let's say you can see, I don't know, 10 scans in a given day, and then you work like 250 days per year, and you have a career of 30 years. So like you can only see up to a certain fixed amount of data through the entire career, versus if you're a machine learning algorithms, you have the possibility to get access to much more experience if you can like go through all these images from all these tumors. So I think machine learning methods, because they're able to convey a very large body of experience, they can provide very efficient recommendations that can accompany recommendations from the doctor. So at this stage, sometimes the technology is not 100% trustworthy. So, for example, we're speaking about ChatGPT. We know about like hallucinations, where sometimes you cannot fully trust the ML machine learning algorithm, or self-driving cars. We had accidents or things like that. So we cannot blindly trust this technology at this stage. But I think it's of tremendous help to help your decision making and gather access to large body of information with very limited effort. So it not only, I think it allows to speed up many duties, but sometimes you have better performance because you can supplement your information base throughout the use of machine learning.
And instead, like basically the machines is not to a point where we can trust it blindly. For sure, I grew up watching Terminator. So if like me, you saw that movie, like, you know, I have not the biggest fan necessarily of all those things. If you're younger and you've ever seen the movie, definitely worth a watch. Maybe wait till school is over, you know, because focus on school first. But because you mentioned like it helps. So nothing's perfect, but I guess what are the advantages and disadvantages of the learning decisions that have been made, and what's the impact of, to make sure that humans are still involved, and what's the impact of having decisions where we might eventually see humans not involved anymore?
Well, I think there are ethical issues to consider. So, for one example, is warfare, where like if we use like weapons that only operate or that operate without any human guidance, weapons they could decide to kill people without a human saying yes or no. This becomes problematic because
Like they could target things like, like this. Oh, statistically, this is the biggest target. You're like, yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because
exactly,
still in war, there's still kind of ish rules. If we, anyway, that's a whole other topic. But even in war, kind of rules, if I may, air quotes. So I'd like to say, yeah, maybe like statistically, it's the best thing, but the rules don't say that you can do that.
But there's two things. There's the ethical component and the error component. So sometimes if you, for example, you think it's a enemy fighter and it happens to be just the children playing there and the machine makes an error, then the outcome is terrible. But also killing is just like a very difficult ethical problem. And you don't want to give that full control to the machine. I think they're like probably you need a human in the loop.
Machines are basically 0 and 1s, right? So it's very, very objective at how it looks at things, but humans are like, yeah, no, you can't do that. Like, we don't care about the objectivity here. You just can't do that. But the machine will probably, hopefully, never learn that in a way, because if it does, then we're all going to be replaced, I guess. We're all going to be useless. Then it's a Matrix, another very good movie. But I should become a movie critic. Maybe I should do another podcast. So we see that even though the machine get more powerful, it's basically a very good helpers for decision makers or for professional, for a human. At the end of the day, like we talk about doctors, we talk about actuaries. So having access to so much information that your brain just could probably never compute in your lifetime, and then be able to have so much good information to make a decision that is better informed probably than it would have if it was just like you and me trying our best with our limited brains versus the machine who's like, here's all the data from the world's history.
So I think as humans, we need to be aware of our cognitive limitations, and machines for some duties are very good and much better than humans. So for example, just doing like computations, like machines are much more efficient than regular humans. So using machine learning as complement is just it allows us to benefit from both the strength of machines and strength of humans and combine them.
Take the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
That was cute. I have my cheesy moments.